Hey guys, it's Beaver. So I've been looking at these two sweet babies. Look how freaking cute they are. God rest their souls. I've been looking at these two cases, Braylen Noble out of Toledo and Malia Bass out of Houston. And, you know, they're obviously they are different stories, but there are some similarities. And let's just take a look at them. And we just try to figure out, what's going on and what led to these two communities just being completely shook and still waiting. Let's just take a look. All right, so with the outlandish stories, all right. So in the case of Miss Malia Bass, her mother and her ABC 123, the boyfriend, they would like you to believe that in this apartment complex. Now, you see the park right here. What they say happened was they get up, Sahara, which is the mother, she goes and puts Malia, the 2-year-old, unattended at this park. Now, I know just in this photograph, you can see what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, close to 7 apartments. That's just in this eyesight. Now, I'm going to show a different picture where it's going to span. It's going to be grainy, but you're going to be able to see that there is tons of apartment complexes that surround this one park. And from her apartment, she could not, through a window or anything, see this child. She would have had to have stepped out and looked at the baby. There was no just watching her from the window. That's not a possibility in the positioning where her apartment was in reference to the park. So this is insane to think. No camera. Cameras don't work. Okay, fair. But people work on Saturday mornings. People work all the time. People are up at all hours of the day and night. Now, I find it very strange. Not one person, not one eyewitness can say that this child was here at this park. Not one. Not one. So now this picture is graining, but in the middle there's the park. And you can see this apartment complex. Look at all these apartments, countless potential witnesses that may would have seen the mother or the baby taken to or from the park or, anything. No, there's nothing. There's nothing. But, oh no, she's missing hysteria. I find it very strange. There's no witnesses. And then we have this is a definite story right here. This is a tall fish tale. So what you're looking at right now, this is the apartment of Braylen Noble. Now, they would have you believe that this baby, this tiny baby, pried open this window, fell out, jumped out, something. Falls from the 3rd story of the apartment complex, hits the ground, pops back up. Now, mind you, now they say that they was out looking. Windows open, bam, we're looking. We're on the boots looking for this baby. They would have you believe that this little boy, now let me say this too, everything is out and open. We're still waiting on, evidence and all this other stuff. But they would have you believe this little baby fell out of this window, hit the ground, pop up, did some kind of crazy ninja move, runs off to where nobody can find him, and stays hidden for days, and then manages to get back into a pool area that has already been searched. So these are crazy. Same with Maliyah. This baby was found 22 miles away from the home. Now, this is where Maliyah was found, in this bayou, 22 miles from the apartment. But what is funny is that ABC 123, his mother lives like extremely close to this area. But, they'll have you believe just somebody snatched the baby up and then took her all night. And then she manages to find herself naked on a float. The float is according to the mother. Y'all will see that in a second. But a reporter on scene said the baby was naked. Now, I will say this. There is a big difference in far as investigation in the fact that this Malia Bass is treated like a homicide. We don't know just yet about Braylen, but I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that the little baby was not a clown ninja and he was not trained in martial arts. And, I do not believe the window theory. Let me just throw that out there. I think it is insane to believe the window theory since there is no trauma to the body. But we have to wait. We just have to wait. Let's move on to the next piece, that I've noticed, that not even that they mean to have the same similarities. Maybe this is just some things that happen in the process of this kind of investigations. But let's move on. So this is Miss Dejanay Cox. Now, if you will pay close attention, so she's normally talking. She's not crying. The reporter asks her name. Dejanay says something to her. What she says is, "You're not going to be asking me a bunch of questions." Like, pretty much, I just want to get in and get out. But if you'll notice, right before the microphone goes in her face, how she's talking, then notice when she feels like she's on camera, you'll be able to see the change. And then immediately after, you'll see the camera pull away. Dejanay goes over there and she's talking to the reporter. And notice her tone. It clears right back up as if she were never crying at all. And the clear difference between her and these other knuckleheads is she's unaware of herself in that she's being recorded the whole time. And she comes off looking disingenuous AF. Let's take a look.
You're not doing like asking questions thing, right?
You can tell me whatever. If you don't want me to ask you questions, I am just going to ask you to say and spell your first and last name, though. I do, because I don't want to get that wrong, of course. All right.
Okay. It's been 4 days since my son has been missing, and I just want whoever to have him, please take him somewhere safe. I know he's scared, and I know he's crying, and he has stomach pains, and he's not eating. He's a picky eater. So if you want to just drop him off somewhere, please drop him off to the police station. You can drop him off here and call my phone. I know he's crying. I know you can't get him to stop crying. He's being picky. He's not eating. And if he's scared, I won't be mad. Please just drop him off to me. I just want him home. That's it.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you for doing that. I will put that out. And then Dejanay, correct? Dajane. Cox.
Dajanae Cox.
Okay. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd want to say? Okay. Thank you.
Now, these two right at the gate, I mean, they are just, and the clown award goes to, they went for it. Now, I will say this, at least in the mother's case in her interview, this was right after they found the baby. But this fool, this was before they even found the baby. He's speaking past tense about the baby. He's going on and on as if he already knows what has happened. It is crazy. And they talk about things that just don't even matter. And then my favorite part is when she tries to give the public parenting advice. And she's looking at, I don't even know, some kind of a midget. I don't know why she's looking at the ground towards the end of the interview. But she does, and maybe they feel like this is how they were supposed to act. I doubt these are true emotions. I really feel like these two absolutely know what happened to this baby. There's tons of things that I'm not even going to be able to cover in this video that lead me to think that, but they left the baby alone the night before. They supposedly said this out of their own mouth. And this ABC 123, I mean, he just says shit that doesn't even matter. why would you need to, this baby need to know how to find her way back to the house by herself? Like, he just says things that make you, what? What is he talking about? But he's definitely the winner of all the clowns out of this scenario. And Dejanay, she played it a lot more calmer. But where she screwed up was that she was being filmed the whole time. And she didn't seem aware of that. Let's take a look.
I'm drained. I've been looking for her for 24 hours. This morning, this is really just devastating to me. Who could be watching my baby to even snatch her from the park? But then, just like that, so here, they should have took me. They should have took me. They should have took me. They found my baby on an orange float. They floating down the bayou. HP. Put my baby every day on her colors. Her 1, 2, 3s, ABCs. What's your name? Where your I tell her, I say, where's the house? We can walk to the store. I ask her, where's the house? Just so she can know where's the house. The mother says they are waiting. Do not leave your kid unattended, no matter how long you think or if she's gonna be okay. Don't do it. It's some cruel ass people out here in this world. It's some horrible people, horrible about nobody but they self. Watch y'all kids. Lock y'all doors. Bash me and my girlfriend like we did something, and that's my baby. She know her ABCs. She know her 1, 2, 3. She know her colors. She only 2. She know how to talk very well because of us. Me and my girl. She was smart. She was growing up to be something.
When was the last time you saw her yesterday?
The last time I saw her is when my gal put her in the park. She came and gave me a hug and told me she loved me. This is her routine every day. My mama could tell you that she loves me. This is her routine to tell me she loves me, hug me. And I sit here and play the game. She come for me, you know, we eat and everything. That's the only reason why my gal came in the house is to fix us something to eat because we haven't ate. So I called her and told her in 5 minutes, it was only 5 minutes, it happened so fast. She was gone. And they don't realize my apartment, the rent lady had a whole operation, a sting on her for sex trafficking. And they let the lady out there.
Now, the social media presence, I will say that Dejanay has been able to kind of keep stuff to a minimum, but there are some weird things. For one, there are, screenshots of her arguing with people about going and finding the baby. And this particular one right here, it shows that she updated some pictures in her Facebook page on the 5th, which is strange, and people were talking. But let's just look at some of the social media presence that they had. Now, I will say the ABC 123, he took to task to just answer questions from the public on Facebook. And it is the dumbest thing possible. I mean, the dumbest. And I'm not going to go through each and every one of these because a lot of y'all know all this information anyways. I'm just bringing it together in one video between the two cases. But I am just going to pop them up on the screen. But nonetheless, I mean, to me, and maybe it's because I'm old, but I don't understand why the social media aspect of it is so prevalent as far as them feeling the need to get on social media rather than look or grieve for their child. I do not understand that. They do not owe any of us anything, and they just look more suspicious to me. And arguing with people on Facebook is so ridiculous to me. It doesn't make any sense. Let's just look at a few of these. So the neighbors, I will say this. Both of these cases took place in an apartment complex, and both of these cases, the people within these apartment complex, and in Braylen's case, there was enough time went by, people from all around come to help look. But they both happened in apartment complexes, and the neighbors notice things, and when you're out there looking for a child, you're actively looking, and then the child is found deceased, and nothing's making sense to you, and you trying to wrap your mind around it, and they are right there on the ground, caught up in the middle of it. It ain't their child, but their concern and passion is just the same. I'm all the way in Tennessee, nowhere near either two of these cases, and I very much want to know and seek justice for what's going on with these cases. So I cannot imagine being right in the middle of it, with the tensions being high, with the whole community shook, and my heart does go out to them. But it is another similarity, the neighbors and their outpouring of support and their outrage and their longing for answers. Let's just take a look.
And prayed that she was okay. But then when they found out that her body was out there, it really broke my heart for real, because we was out here since 8 in the morning looking for her. So how would you just let that happen, go let her play in this park, go in the house, and you see that quilt right there? That was over this. And you see that board right there? That was over the window. So inspection, that's a safety hazard. If anything did happen to her, if she came outside, how would she even see her?
Oh, girl! And then she pulled it up. Come back! Come back! The wrong person! Come back! Pick him up and let him go.
They picked him up, questioned him a little, and let him go, bro. That was the wrong thing to do.
They want answers. They want justice for Malia Bass. And as they walked from the car into their apartment, out of their apartment, back into the car, the mother and her boyfriend were both silent. Like I said, people want answers. They want justice. We understand this is a horrendous case. We did see
The maintenance man. Which one the maintenance man?
Are they cousins? We're the whole family.
They're pushing him. That's my cousin's family on my aunt's dad's side. No, that's Bobby. That ain't Bobby. That ain't. One of them, they shoot like I don't do nothing.
Come here.
Come on. Get back, guys. Get back. I've been out here every day one. I've been out here. That's the granddad. That bitch knows he don't do it. That's the granddad. So they about to take him on the bed too?
No emotion. So Braylen, none. None. Your family weird. Shut up, because he knows too. Ain't see you out here looking at all. He knows. If y'all don't know, we're out here looking. That's weird as fuck. That's so weird. That don't make no sense. Look at her. You don't know what's going on. That's the granddaddy and the grandmama.
Yeah, that's her mom and dad.
I thought that her dad already came.
Which brings us to our last thing with the similarities currently is the wait. We wait on a complete autopsy from Braylen, which includes toxicology. They've released kind of like a summary of it. We have received no cause of death with Malia Bass. I know the wheels of justice are turning. I'm sure they're just turning slow. There is a lot of moving parts with both of these. Now, I would say this too, as far as the neighbors, the social media, all this stuff, there is so much, wasn't going to cover every drop of it in this, and it's plenty of information out there. I'll post some links in the description of a few good channels that have dissected these cases, and they're good pieces of information. The neighbor's presence is very prevalent with Maliyah and Braylen, and some of the neighbors, they feel like they've seen something with Braylen. Maliyah, they know the people, they've lived there, the tenants, ABC and Sahara, and it's just a lot of moving parts. But we wait. Now they have received partial autopsy, like I said before, with Braylen. Nothing from Maliyah. I know the grandmother did a brief interview with the news media the other day, and they have contacted the coroner's office, and they said to her that they're not releasing any information until they have everything they need for the investigation. And I understand that. Like with Evelyn Boswell, yes, we still don't have concrete, anything, but, well, we didn't for a while. Now we know that they've charged her, but they did have her arrested on false reporting very early on. They caught her in several lies. I would think, especially, well, and I can probably say it with Braylen also, but definitely with Maliyah, they should be charged with neglect. I'm not sure why they haven't been charged with neglect, because it is neglect. I don't know how it wouldn't be neglect. There is plenty of evidence to me to say neglect. But why get them on simple neglect when you can get them on the bigger charge if they're guilty, if they're culpable? And how does this community repair? I mean, it's so sad and egregious, and it's just awful. It's completely awful. And these babies deserved so much more. They deserve so much more. And we will continue to seek justice, and we'll say prayers for the family. And it's just two tragedies that should have never happened. They should have never happened. These children should have never been out of their parents' sight. Now, I'm not saying that things don't happen. But these stories, come on. There's no way. Braylen was autistic. Maliyah was too. Like, they're little babies. Whether they were autistic or not, or they should have never been out of anybody's sight. Not even for a second. Not even for a second, because that's all it takes. I just, y'all let me know in the comment section down below. I was just thinking a lot about these two cases. I wanted to kick something out, see what y'all think, and let me know some of y'all's theories. What do y'all think happened? We're going to be following these cases closely. Y'all have a good one.